Hang on. I've read the title. This looks like a big deal. Significantly increasing access to spirit beasts. Later today, we're deploying a change that greatly increases the rate that you encounter the 4 legendary beasts that grant access to the spirit beast fights. Bestiary has been running for 2 weeks so far, and we've kept a close eye on data regarding how many people are accessing their endgame content in the league. We initially avoided increasing the spawn rate of these beasts until we deployed beast trading. That I agree, like, it didn't make sense to buff it before you enabled beast trading. Makes sense. As there were certainly economic implications of much easier economic access to these beasts. That is a weird sentence, but I agree. Now that we have beast trading data for a few days, spoiler, still no one's fucking doing them, we're comfortable with increasing how often you encounter these beasts. You'll now come across a beast that grants access to one of the 4 spirit beasts approximately once per 50 maps. Now, it used to be per 320. So they went from... It was actually like, apparently every 320 maps you get a portal. Now it's every 50. That's a pretty big... Like, that's a big change. We also wanted to note, as it's not widely known, that the beasts that grant access for you start appearing in tier 5, 7, 10, and 13 respectively. Yeah. So that's another thing why a lot of people haven't got it. Like, I've only had one. I've only had one beast portal myself. And that was 2 days ago. And I haven't had one since. And I've only been doing, like, tier 6 and higher for the last, like, 3 or 4 days. But yeah, this is why a lot of people weren't getting it at the start, was most people just, like, they weren't in the early tiers. Like, they weren't past, like, tier 5s. But yeah, no, this is big. This is a big, big change. The team have also worked on increasing the difficulty and reward for the beasts that spawn once per area. The yellow ones, so that the fights are more challenging. This is good, because when I first did the fight, I was really disappointed by how easy it was. That was the one, Sakawa one, the birdie. No, the dinosaur, sorry. This goes alongside the improvements to the recipe we made recently, though the reward part was deployed first. They're also working on new recipes that use these mods for other rewards. Okay. So that's really good. So we can now capture, like, the yellow beasts. If I read this correctly, the yellow beasts will be harder. And you'll access them a lot more often. That's good, because I can show you the VOD of when I did the Spirit Beast. I was really disappointed by it. Really, really disappointed. I think this is it here. Okay, so this is our first Spirit Beast of the league. I like the portal. The portal looks really cool. I hope we can buy this portal at some point. I actually really like that portal. Okay, we didn't crash. That's a good sign. Visually, it's a really cool
I haven't actually watched this fight either, so we're doing this kind of blind. Can I capture any of these guys? They haven't got, like, nets on them, so... Ooh, wait, what? I can't move. Oh, this is a thing I need to kill. Okay. Ooh.
So this is the guy they're buffing. Like, these little
that's why I
mini
couldn't move,
bosses.
because I had to kill the dude. Okay, that makes sense.
But yeah, it felt kind of underwhelming. It's just like, I was on, like, increased
That
AoE
really
for
doesn't
all
look
of
like
this.
a boss, or like a mini boss, whatever you want to call it. But fair enough. We should use good nuts as well. So yeah, I want to try and capture the boss itself, don't I? Oh, what was that? Remind me to put in Conk Effect when we get to the actual boss fight, though. How do I know? How actually? I don't know how I'll know.
Not
I
the
actually
mini
have
boss?
a Necronet. Whoops.
Just the
Guess I
yellow
can
beast?
just go back and
Oh.
get one.
Oh, so the mini boss will still be disappointing then. Well, that's kind of a shame.
There'll be a door.
But yeah, you'll see the boss fights coming up. I was very disappointed, personally.
Okay, so this is the boss fight. Okay. Ooh, it's like a little dino boy. Okay. Is it just one phase? I just beat him up. Ow. Okay, let's throw the net. That was easy. Huh. Is that it? Hmm. Okay, so we got the chest, and the chest is, all attributes, resist, reduce mana reserved. That was global, I'm guessing. That's pretty good. 100% increase aspects of the avian buff effects. And it also gives it to allies. Well, that's really handy for my SSF.
So yeah, so that was like the fight. So that was a little disappointing. But it was pretty funny. There's like, oh, cool, what did we get? Oh, we got the shares, the buff with allies. That's brilliant. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to doing more of them. And also the fact that because you'll be getting more of them, so when you capture the boss at the end, that's what you need to then, if we go in game, to craft the aspect skill. Like, to craft the aspect skill onto gear, it requires you use the boss. And that I found really backwards because I've only had the fight once, I can only craft the aspect once. So because of that, I now don't want to experiment with the aspect because like I've only got one. So by making them more common, it means that you'll be able to use more aspect skills and you'll be able to like put it onto more gear. So that'll be a big buff to me. So not only will I have like increased access to the uniques, which because I'm playing SSF, I have very limited access to. It means I can actually experiment with the aspect skills themselves. And that is the most interesting thing. So I'm really, really glad they buffed it. For the people saying, like, how do you feel about them, like, only fixing leagues, like, halfway through or whatever? At least they're doing it now, like, 2 weeks in. They used to be a lot worse. Like, it used to be months before we saw any improvements. I'm not defending how bad of a state this league launched in, and this league launched in a terrible state. I mean, I said that myself in a video. I said it on Bake-Off. Everyone on Bake-Off screwed. It launched in a terrible state, but they have been addressing it pretty quickly. It's just now a case of, are they addressing it too late? Personally, for me, it's fine. Hopefully it feels good now. I still feel like the red legendary beast could be made a little bit more regular, although it might just be the fact that I've been mapping more often now. It feels like I'm encountering them more often. I do also think that the rare beast crafting could do with better weighting, because if you go on my YouTube, you can see I did some crafting. I was pretty disappointed with the results in general. And we can create a unique shield real quick. And yeah, the general, like, it's been a bit underwhelming. It has been nice and pretty exciting getting access to cool maps and stuff, and cool uniques. But there's definitely more improvement to be done. And also just in the display and how everything is sort of worked out. Like, there's definitely a lot they can be doing to improve it, and they're not finished just by making the bosses more common. But I'm glad they are making the bosses more common, and that should hopefully go a long way. It's decent. Like, it's genuinely okay as shield, but not too interesting. And I still wish that we could minimize, like, I find it ridiculous that we can't minimize and collapse these borders using the exact same UI that they have for, you know, challenges. And that would be really nice. But yeah, for some reason we don't have that. Feels bad, man. All in all, though, I am, you know, happy with the direction the league is going, and I'm very glad they are actually making changes. So I should probably clip that whole section and throw that onto YouTube.